Now look, she went through a little something to get that blessing. But after she got the blessing, who cares?
Amen.
See, we just focused on the wrong stuff. We're just so concerned about, look, I don't want to look bad. I don't want somebody to tell me no. I don't want someone to turn me down. But look, if God has made you a promise, whatever that promise is, if He's promised you that your marriage is going to work, if He's promised you that you're going to have that business, if He's promised you, I don't care what He's promised you, but if He has promised you that, and you know that God can do it for you, then you need to go after this thing with the determination that I'm not going to stop until I get what I'm supposed to.
Amen.
We think if it gets hard, it ain't God.
Amen.
We think if it hurt our feelings, it ain't God. We think that if we get dirty and get roughed up in the process, then God had nothing to do with it. Let me tell you something. If you got hurt, you got roughed up in the process, 9 times out of 10, God had everything to do with it, because God is more interested about growing you as a person than He is just giving you what you're begging for. I just had in my mind it was going to be such an exciting class. But you know, when I start talking about pride and stuff like that, it just take all the pressure out. You just take all the excitement out the room.
That's right.
Because I guess people are saying, I don't want it to be my fault. I want it to be God's fault. I don't want this to be something that I'm not doing.
That's right.
But see, you ain't hurting enough. Because if you start hurting just right, you don't care who fault it is. You just want to know, what can I do to stop it? And see, some of the stuff y'all heard about, listen, trust me, there's a whole nother thresh level of pain that you can go to. You just ain't suffered bad enough. I remember one time I had to have surgery. They was prepping me for surgery. And pain was racking my body so bad that they had brought in a bunch of students in the room, and I was butt naked. They brought a bunch of students in. They were coming around looking at me like I was a test specimen. Under normal circumstances, I would have got up and I've been wanting to fight everybody. I would have got up and I told folks, look, y'all get out here. But I was hurting so bad, all I wanted was another morphine drip. All I wanted was another shot of morphine to take my mind off it. I didn't care what they saw. I didn't care what they were looking at. I was just hurting just that bad. And see, I'm trying to tell you right now, if you are up here just so concerned about how you looking, you ain't hurt bad enough. And what I'm trying to do is trying to give you some information to help you get beyond this place of where you suffer. How you respond to the reaction. How you respond to the reaction tells me everything I need to know about you. You ever rejected somebody? So you ever had somebody that said they liked you and they wanted to date you and all this? Women, y'all had this before. They're guys that pursue you and they'll talk about it. And then when you finally say, look, you just get the nerve up and tell them, look, I ain't interested in you, Ricky. I don't want you. I ain't got nothing to do with you. Then they say to you, well, I ain't like you anyway. I would want to date your sister anyway. You ain't that pretty anyway. You legs and you dashing. You ain't got good skin. Then they tell you all this mean stuff about yourself. See, but here you go. Now, just a second ago, you were telling me how much you love me and how much you wanted to marry me and all this stuff. And I told you I didn't want you. And now you talking about how bad I look at all this stuff. But see, that's how people are.
Right.
See, when you reject them, they're telling you all this stuff. They're saying all this stuff. All this anger and stuff comes out. Because see, that's who you are. Now, you might not like that about yourself, but it's in there. It wouldn't have come out if it wasn't in there. When you get rejected, do you shy away? Do you just bag off? And you just kind of ease on out the room? When a person don't recognize you, what do? Do you just clamber up and feel small and go into a corner? Is that what you do? What do you do? Do you get angry and start finding ways you can get revenge? I used to make these little imaginary lists in my mind. I used to say, yeah, I'm going to get them. They ain't want me now, but they don't want me before I get out of here. This is why I say they got on my hit list. The revenge was in my heart. Sometimes the rejection is not to hurt you, but the rejection is to show you something about yourself. And there's a lot of things we don't know about ourselves. But I do know this. You can't succeed until you overcome your fear of rejection.